Let's start here. Kind doesn't mean quiet. We live in a world that rewards mothers for being agreeable, for being nice, for going along to get along. But if you're raising a child with a disability, especially a rare disease or neurodivergence, you already know going along doesn't get your child what they need. Welcome to the Be Mighty Mom podcast. I'm your host, Ash, autism and rare disease parent, boundary setter, and your voice of fierce, honest truth. This isn't just support, it's a movement where we ditch the fluff, get honest about autism and rare disease, and what it really takes to advocate for our kids, especially with family. There's this myth that raising your voice, even metaphorically, makes you, quote, difficult. But sometimes the most loving thing we can do is speak boldly, especially when silence means our child is denied support or care. Let's get into it. I want to take a second to talk about courage. The word courage comes from the Latin cor, meaning heart. So when I say that advocacy is heart work, I mean it literally. Advocating for your child can feel like walking into a meeting with your soul exposed. It's vulnerable, and vulnerable doesn't mean weak. It means brave. According to a 2021 peer-reviewed study in the Journal of Autism and Developmental Disorders, parents who practiced what they called, quote, assertive advocacy, which is confident, fact-based, and values-driven, saw more consistent follow-through from schools and providers. Assertive doesn't mean aggressive. It means anchored. You know your stuff, and you speak from that knowing. So here's your permission slip. It's okay to speak up, even if your voice shakes. It's okay to ask hard questions, follow up more than once, and make people uncomfortable. If that's what it takes to get your child what they need and deserve. Because what's kinder than creating a safer, more supportive world than your child, regardless of who you're advocating to? So how do we advocate without burning out? According to research from Sanford Center for Compassion and Altruism, self-compassion is a critical tool for sustainable advocacy. Parents who were gentle with themselves, who let themselves make mistakes and recover, stayed active and resilient longer than those who ran themselves into the ground. So here are 4 ways to raise your voice without losing your peace. Prepare, don't panic. Go into IEPs or specialist meetings with bullet points, printouts, and a game plan. Even with family, you don't need to memorize laws, but knowing that FAPE, which is free appropriate public education, is a legal right under IDEA, that gives you confidence. Use clear, firm language. A phrase like, "We need this accommodation to ensure equitable access," holds more power than an emotional plea. It's to be clear, not just passionate. Take your time. Burnout is so real. You don't have to answer every email today. You don't have to educate every stranger on the internet. Rest is advocacy too, because it makes you stronger for the more important moments to advocate in. This last one is a biggie. Find your community. And if you can't find one, make one. That's what this is for. That's what Mighty Moms is all about, the ones who get it. Research shows that peer support reduces stress and increases resilience in parents of disabled children. You don't have to go at it alone. Let's reframe what you might have been told. You are not too much. You are not emotional. You are not dramatic. You are exactly enough to get this done. When people call you intense or aggressive, ask yourself, are they uncomfortable because I'm wrong or because I'm right and they weren't ready to hear it? Disability advocate Amani Barbaran says, your existence is not up for debate. It's not aggressive to demand what you need. So the next time someone tone policies you, remember, their comfort is not your priority. Your child's access is. Kindness is not about making people feel good or comfortable. It's about doing good. And sometimes doing good means not backing down and making somebody feel uncomfortable. This episode is brought to you by Fidget Tee, the original sensory-friendly shirt with built-in fidgets that actually look cool. Perfect for kids who need to stim discreetly or just want something fun and functional to wear. My son absolutely loves his, and yours might too. Get 20% off your purchase with the code MAXIMUS at fidgettee.com. That's capital MAXIMUS for 20% off, because sensory support should be easy. Let me tell you about one of those moments that sits heavy in my chest to this day. I was in a room full of people who were supposed to care about my son. Some even said they loved him. But love wasn't showing up where it mattered. Because love without action doesn't get services. Love without listening doesn't validate what we see and live every single day. And love without accountability doesn't move the stigma. They said they loved him, but they weren't showing that they cared. And that's when I realized something I'll never forget. Caring is more powerful than love. Because caring shows up. Caring means doing the paperwork. Caring means advocating even when the child or the parent isn't there. Caring means changing the plan when it's clearly not working, not because it's easy, but because it's right. I left that room feeling gutted and changed forever. They can love him from a distance. I will care for him up close. So if you've ever felt that, if you sat in a room where you were the only one who truly cared, I want you to know you're not imagining it. You're just one of the few people willing to love and care in action. And that is what makes you mighty. Let's name something that comes up quite a bit when we're advocating that can make you feel uncomfortable or make others feel uncomfortable. Anger. Society tells us anger is unproductive and unladylike. But constructive anger, the kind rooted in clarity and justice, can actually motivate systems changing. That's what I like to call advocating through fury. A study published by the APA found that anger, when paired with calm expression and purpose, often leads to more favorable outcomes in advocacy and negotiation. You don't need to scream, but you are allowed to let anger show you what matters. Anger can be your signal. Just use it as fuel, not fire. I want to take a second for reflection for you. Think about, where in your life have you been told to tone it down? You got the moment? Now ask yourself, what would happen if I turned it up? Not in volume, but in purpose. That reflection, that's where your next act of advocacy is born. So today, I hope you feel a little braver, a little louder, and a whole lot more mighty. Whether you're writing emails, making calls, sitting in waiting rooms, or saying enough to a dismissive tone, you are doing holy work. You don't have to whisper to be kind. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is raise your voice. If this episode spoke to you or helped you with your strength and it made you think of another parent or caregiver out there, I would love if you would send it to them. And if you think this is something that somebody out there might need to hear, please leave a review. It really helps this mighty little community grow. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and stay mighty.